Hey, my name is Preet and I'm from Germany. I'm here as 6th-year medical student at Medical University of Sofia. Why I decided. So first of all, when I did my A-level, I finished, I was already ready to do medical studies in Germany, but because the waiting list in Germany is so long, so I don't want to wait. So I decided, okay, I will do nursing and then I will jump into medical school. But after I finished my nursing, it still waiting list was not happening. So one of my friends was studying in Bulgaria and I bumped into her after a few years, and it was just so coincidence that she was talking about Bulgarian and she talked about the university. She introduced me to that and I was like, okay, let me give a try. And I researched stuff, and when I found out it's in English, it's affordable for me, and it's also same concept as in Germany. And I came here, visited the city, and I really liked it, and the people as well. So this was the one reason I decided, okay, I will go for Bulgaria now. If one thing I would change is from day one, I will study Bulgarian properly, and go to the classes for Bulgarian, do extra classes, because this will give you more opportunities. You can go and shadow doctors and also learn to save money. First time when you come here, you think everything is so cheap. Oh my God, I can go out, I can eat there, I can go there. But over the time, when you look at your budget, you're like, huh? What happened? Everything was so cheap, food is not that expensive in back at home, and but then you spend a lot. So that's why it's important to make a budget for your month. All the students who really want to study medicine, who didn't start yet but thinking of it, what I will recommend, what I would have done as well, I did it as well. I did a social year in a hospital in Germany. So which made me realize if the medicine is actually a correct line for me. So there is options. I know from Germany, in Germany there's an option, you can do 6 months or 1 year or even a few weeks. You can go to the hospital and shadow a nurse. You can just be a nurse's assistant, and you can check the environment, how it is, right? And you also, so do these things, practical things. Don't look only on the syllabus, because lots of people think okay, theory, I have to learn this, I have to learn this, I have to learn this. There's so much memorizing. It is, I'm not denying it, but there's also practical part which most of students don't look into, and when they come and they say oh, this is it, that's why. So, and make sure to go through your basics. If you already made your mind to study medicine, then make sure your biology, biochemistry, and these cell cycles and everything, cytology, everything is, your basics are covered. So when you enter medical school, you have already strong start. Don't be afraid of going out and make friends. Approach everyone. Don't say no to an opportunity. That's what my always I have this agenda in my life. I never say no to opportunities. Even if it wasn't a good choice or good decision at the end, when you said yes to someone but it didn't turn out that nicely, but at the end you will find people, you know what I mean? So just go out, look for people who are on your wavelength and stick with them. That's what I did. And for me, it was I attended Interhex events in the beginning. You did the social event, and where I found the people, my best friends and stuff. We are still together, from first year. I'm really so grateful for them. They uplifted me, not only in studies, emotionally. Whenever you're down here, you don't have anyone else. Your family is not around you. So you need someone to be around you who will tell you, okay, I know you're in the bad place, but we can go through it. We can get through out of it, you know? To be honest, every year had its own hardships, right? But for me, I would still say it was third year, because you have pharmacology, pathophysiology, internal medicine, microbiology. All these big exams you have to do the exams started in July and August. In this little span of time of span, sorry, you have to do all these exams. And I had to study pharmacology like a long time. I needed for that long. So it was mostly not because of the subjects we have, they were all very interesting, I have to say, but the syllabus is so big and so much information, you want to know everything, but it's not possible. So you stress yourself out, how to manage your time, how you can give time to pharmacology, pathophysiology, internal medicine, how to organize it. This was for me like biggest struggle to overcome, how I am gonna like give every subject my time and not leave anything behind. So what I did is like we have a study group, we have a core study group, we have 4 people. We divided our syllabus between each other, and what they do is, okay, now I'm pharmacology, I will do 10 points until next week. And you will do these 10 points until next week for pathophysiology, for example. And then we made our timetable, a weekly study plan, and we said, okay, in Monday is just pathophysiology week, Tuesday is microbiology week, Wednesday is so on. Like you give each day a subject so you don't miss anything. Otherwise, there is no time. If I try to work like, we also tried like working on Monday, okay, half day pathophysiology, half day pharmacology. It never works out because you were like so in one topic or one subject, you don't want to come out. You were like, okay, we are in the element now, let's finish it. First of all, no one expected that, right? So when it happened, we thought, okay, it's going to be 1 month or 1 week, or we have off, right? And when COVID hit, everything was like dead, like no classes, nothing for 2 weeks. So immediately they started making Google Classrooms. We had our platforms, everything was online. By that time, we were already at home, back home in our countries. So we were trying to study online. What sad part for us was that was exactly those years where the clinical years has started. So we have started our rotations. We were meant to go to hospitals, interact with patients, but due to COVID, it didn't happen, which made us so sad. And we are right now, like in these last year and this year, we are trying to go to the hospital so much. Like even if we don't have to go, we like, okay, let's do it because we miss this whole part. And even in our home countries, when you try to go there in COVID, they were like, no, there is too many patients with COVID, we can't take this risk, and we can't take foreign students either, like they are not from our university. So that happened, and in COVID we had everything online. I have to say, I had that time, I remember pharmacology exam, I was grateful, I was grateful that I don't have to go to university because I took these 4 to 5 months to prepare for my pharmacology, pathophysiology, and internal diseases. Everything theoretical. It was very good for me. But then you realize at the end, okay, you're missing the practical part now. We did miss stuff. So that's why I went back last year, I went back home and I tried to get into internships, which helped me as well because I did learn a lot of practical stuff there as well. And here in Bulgaria, I did try to go to some conferences and stuff, and where we met new doctors, and they were so nice. They actually offered us to come and do the practicals, for example, ultrasound or a physical examination and stuff. There's a hospital nearby next to where I live. There's a hospital, and this doctor, she's so nice. She's like, whenever you feel like you need more experience, just come to us and come to me, and you can shadow me. And whenever I have time, spare time, I go there and then do that. And she's brilliant. Top 3 hardest. Anatomy. For me was anatomy. It took my soul out. I have a picture of me after ending the exam. I looked like a zombie. I actually didn't sleep really for weeks. You don't believe me, and if you saw our study room, because we study in the group, like my best friends and we all study together, we all looked like a zombie, and my friend had to drag me that day. I was like, I don't feel prepared, and you will never feel prepared for anatomy or pharmacology, I have to say that. Why is anatomy hard? Because it is so much memorizing, because I like it when you have to understand a concept. In anatomy, it's like, okay, name this, name that, which nerve, which blood vessel, where does it go? it's so much memorizing that I struggle with personally, so I have to do lots of spaced repetition. But for anatomy exam, the time was so less that it took my soul out, actually. I'm not joking. Yeah, and another exam I would say it's very hard is pharmacology, but I loved pharmacology. I did not struggle like anatomy because there you could understand. There was understanding. There was lots of stuff, like the syllabus was huge. Still, at the pharmacology exam day, I was like, no, I'm not going. And my friend was like, we have to go. One day she was struggling, another day I was struggling. But we were motivating each other. So she was like, okay, when she's low, I am the one who has to take her out. When I'm low, she has to take me out. So that's how we struggle through pharmacology, anatomy. And if you ask me third exam, I would say for me personally, I found pediatrics. Like, it's again not hard. It's a very interesting subject. Just because of the sake of the syllabus, it's so much information. You think, oh my God, you have to spend more time than you usually spend on another syllabus, another like subjects, you know. So that's the three top, I would say. Regarding the exams, before COVID happened, we had every exam oral. Of course, you have like 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes time, you get your syllabus points, you get your question, you have 15 minutes time, and then you go to your professor. Sometimes there are 3-4 professors together, there are 2 professors, 1 professor, depending on the exam, right? So you go to them and you give oral exams. So it means, which I was used to it before COVID, and I loved it because you can talk so much, and I am a person who loves to talk. But when COVID happened, all the exams was written. Oh my days. It was written, which I am really not a big fan of written exams because my arm can't take it. Because writing 20 pages, because you think like you have so much information in your brain, you think, oh God, this is important, I have to write it. And then time doesn't even is enough to write everything. The thing is, when the exams went written, we had to change our structure, study structure, right? So it's not like I have all the knowledge. Now I know, okay, if this is the disease, I have to make a structure. I can't write everything, and it's also not possible. So I have to give them it's a definition. What are clinical symptoms? How you do it? How you diagnose the patient? What is pathophysiology? So that's how we try to then concise it in a summary. So what I need to write. So I write it beforehand. So I learned that okay, these are the points I should focus in my written exam. For the oral exam, is like you just explain it to your friends, the topic. So you know what is in your head. So that's how we're going to do it. We do mock exam, for example, with my friends. We just sit there and I get my ticket. I talk about that topic endlessly, and then she asked me 2 questions and it's done. And that's how I'm going to go to the professor as well, and I'm going to talk to them like I'm explaining them the topic, you know. So this is how we do it. Procrastination, I would say, who doesn't do that? What you can do is, I made a plan again. I'm a person who makes lots of plans. I have digital planner, I have a physical planner, I do lists. I also put I have a app called Focus, and you put it on and you say, okay, and it also blocks all your apps. You don't go to Instagram, you don't go to any social media, it blocks all you. That's a very good app. So what I do is, I turn this app on, and then I also use the Pomodoro technique. I will say, okay, 45 minutes, I will focus on this, and when I have the 10 minutes break, I will do that. Just put that. In medical school, it's not only the professors who teach you, and it's rarely lots of students only go to lecture and seminar and then they know everything. That's never happening. So of course we have our books, we have our lecture slides, and apart from that there are legends on YouTube who help you with your studies. One of them is Ninja Nerd, which is good for preclinical. Second is, I would say, Osmosis, which is not a YouTube channel, but it's another platform. Osmosis is, if you're a visual learner, go there. Osmosis will teach you everything. Another guy who is a legend is Dr. Najib. If you are in your preclinical, I would recommend everyone. If you want to learn physiology from core, really, that is the guy you go. He explains you from 0 to, I don't know, Z. You understand you read your book, you're like, huh, okay. Then you watch the video. I'm not saying it's short videos, they're 2-3 hours long videos. You have to actually invest your time in there, and you sit there, you watch the video, and you can make 2 times 2, that's also possible, because he's very slow at talking, but he is amazing at explaining physiology concepts, so you will understand everything at the end. You will like, ooh, oh, I am genius now. But of course, you have to revise again, you don't forget. So I will say Dr. Najib, Osmosis, Ninja Nerd, and also there are lots of like YouTube like channels which explain you medical concepts or make your life actually easy. Regarding the books, when you start your medical school, like if you're like me, you're like so passionate, I want to buy this book, I want to buy this book, I bought so many books in first year which was not even needed, and I don't even have time to like look at them. But you want to feel like a medical student, you are this passionate, okay, you know what, I am into medical school, now I'm going to get everything what is related to medicine, you know, just get me anatomy, all the sabotas and everything. Oh my God, but this is a waste of money. All the books are available as PDF for free. So nobody have told me. Okay, people have told me. People were like, Preet, you don't need all the books. I was like, no. As a good student, you have to have this kind of books. No, you don't. Believe me, you don't. So I still have those books from first year. And first year, I bought lots of books, in physical books. After first year, I learned my lesson. And I thought to myself, Preet, stop wasting your money. Just stick to PDF books. So I do use books. So what I do is I download a PDF, whichever professor has recommended the book, I need to read it. So what do I do? I download the book, I use it as a PDF and as a reference. So for books, and since third year, I use this platform called Amboss. Amazing platform, saves every student's time. It has all the like medical information or study material which you need as a medical student. Of course, I don't use just Amboss. I use Amboss with my lecture slides, which we have given from our professors, and plus the book if they refer anything. So I go through it, and they also, the platform Amboss, they have also questions at the end, which helps you retain the information. So these are the study material which I use. And if we talk about the life-changing book, I have one life-changing book which I read before I started medical school. I was in very low state of my life because I was not getting anywhere. I wanted to become a doctor. I was not getting into medical school. The waiting list was longer. So one friend of mine, she gifted me that book. It's called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It is a brilliant book which taught me it is not about the destination, it is about the journey. So if I would have not gone through all these hardships, all to get here where I am, I would have never become this person which I am right now. Because I became as a person, I personally think my growth, if you would have met me 6-7 years ago, you would have not seen this Preet. I was really shy, and not even shy, I would not say shy, but I was a very conservative person. I was like, everything is sad, I was so negative. I became so positive about this. And I think to become positive, this book helped me, uplift me, and also to become positive, to survive medical school, you have to have a positive mindset. Of course, I'm not saying you can't cry, you can't vent to your friends. I'm doing it daily basis. But there is a point you have to gather yourself, say, okay, you know what? I am done with this negative stuff. I need to get out of it. Gather yourself together, put yourself and to build your strong mindset. And this book really helped me to build a strong mindset. And whenever I'm in low, I go and read certain pages in the book, and it makes me feel like, oh wow, okay, I'm good. I'm doing good. For working with patients, I didn't have any problem again because I had a solid base when I did my nursing. We were constantly in contact with patients, and I was trained there to communicate with patients. I can communicate with any patients, like even if they are hard, I think that of myself, like I have no, fear of touching patients. When I came here, even in third year when we had internal medicine and we were confronting the patients there. So we had patients, so I didn't have any issues like doing the physical examination, touching them or talking to them, or but I know this is for my friends. Some of my friends I know, they were like, they were a little bit like backed up. because of this, because they never have any interaction one-on-one with the patient. So this, I think, will also you can avoid this feeling by doing more practical experience in hospitals, or before you even start medicine, or during even your first year, you can go back home or do here and go to hospital and interact with patients. So up to now, I had my pediatrics rotation, psychiatric rotation, and also we have been internal diseases where we met old people as well, right, adult. And I have to say, with pediatrics ones was like very these kids, these children are more shy, but you communicate with their parents, and sometimes this can also be very difficult. These parents, they want answers straightforward. Is my child gonna be okay? Is he gonna be fine? Is he be okay? Are you giving the right treatment? Why is he not getting healthy? Why is it taking so long? Because they are scared, and that's fine. And then you have to learn to cope with them. This is also what you learn if you keep going to the department. That's what we did. We were learning, and our professor, I have to say, I loved rheumatology department. She was such a nice, I was a passionate teacher, and she didn't teach us just diseases. She taught us how to communicate, and that was the biggest part of it is the biggest part of a medicine, because as a doctor you can't just be emotionless and no empathy and nothing. You have to have little bit of emotions, and also not be give them false hopes. I found difficult talking patients is in the psychiatric ward. I've been there here as well in Sofia, in the hospital psychiatric ward. It is hard because psychiatric department is its own department, and they are really trained to talk to these, the doctors are really, they go and undergo speciality to talk to them, right? So as a medical student, when you go there, you have no knowledge how to actually even approach them. So me and my friends, we were okay, this is really hard. How do they deal with it? So what we did, we were trying to learn strategies. So we do always these OSCEs at home. OSCE is you play a scenario front of, you have a patient, one student, one of my friend plays, or we switch roles, right? So one of the student plays patient, one is doctor, and two are sitting there and observing the behavior of the doctor. So what we learned in this process was you need to find strategies based on their disease. So you have to formulate your questions differently and find strategy and implement these strategies in your speech. I also went back to Germany, and I had 3 weeks I worked in a psychiatric department, and that was geriatric psychiatric department, and that was I had to say, it was sad, and I don't know if I personally couldn't stay there and work with them, because it made me I am not strong enough to deal with this. So you have to also think what is your strength? You can handle it for life or not, because as a German student, you have to, when you go back, you start with your residency immediately. So I have to already look now, what do I like, what do I don't like, where I see myself, where I don't see myself. So for example, pediatrics, I love pediatrics, but I know I can't be a pediatrician. So I would, but I love the department, so I have to say that. When I went to geriatric ward, I have to say, I actually enjoyed it because they were very, it's for old people, right? So they come with their different diseases. Some people came with dementia, Alzheimer and stuff as well. That was sad part, but some people who are no psychiatric diseases, but they have only, for example, they came for hypertension, diabetes. They are very I really enjoyed working with them, because when you talk with them, you learn their experience. They tell you their stories, and that was the funniest part for me. Like some women, like some old grandma, just telling me her stories while I'm doing some like physical examination on her, and while you're doing the anamnesis as well, you learn so much from these lives. Like you think like, oh, what, this person is not just your patient. They had their whole life behind them, and so many stories and memories stored in there. Like they lived so much, and they must have known so much. Like, and they give you like their lessons, morals. I love to talk to them. That's what I enjoyed in my nursing as well, and I love to talk as a doctor as well. I wish I would like have more time, like, and I would love to hear their stories. Because I had already my nursing degree, I was prepared what I'm going for, like, right? But still, oh my God, one subject threw me off. I actually completely forgot about that because I'm actually trying to forget it. That's forensics. For one of my friends, she was preparing me for that. She was like, no, it's really not good. I was like, how harmful? Like, how bad could it be, right? We saw everything. I saw obs and gynae, women giving birth, which was horrible. I saw like, I saw like I was in OTs. I saw lots of stuff. I was like, how can it be like so bad? Then first day, my first rotation, I am like, okay, you know what? I am very brave. I can do everything. I walk in. Oh my God, I walk in, turn my head to the right. I'm not joking. I'm turn my head to the right. The teacher or the doctor, he had this axe, which is electronic, and he's cutting the skull out. My two best friends, they were regularly going, and they also performed the autopsy. Like they did, and because if you're going regularly and you get used, like you get very good at it, the teacher lets you perform. So if you like it, do it, because this is the best opportunity to learn again, anatomy. I have two who inspired me here in Medical University of Sofia, two professors. One was from Angioedema Conference. She was amazing. She did so much in her life, and I was looking up to her. I was like, she had so much knowledge, and she has achieved so much. I was looking, like she gave me, she was called, she's my inspiration, one of them. And another was, I already mentioned, in pediatric department, from rheumatology department. She was amazing doctor. You see in those professors, you see how passionate they are. They're not just doing their job. They're not just treating patients, they're treating people. They are communicating with them. They have they have something in them which such a positive vibe, which makes you think, oh, I want to be like this. When I'm done, I will do this. You know, these two people, like professors, have inspired me. As a medical student, when you're doing internships, it's rare that you build a long-term relationship with the patient because you keep leaving, right? You lose contact with them. But once I remember, I had internship and I was dealing with the patient for 2 weeks, and during my internship time, and she was even from Spain, I remember, and she couldn't speak that much German. And we were communicating, and she was like, we were communicating, we were talking with each other, and over the time, and when she left a note and flowers for me. She was like, I never had like that kind of care, like you, like she actually praised me and said like how I've made her feel better, even though she was so sick, and she found some positivity in her life. And because I always go in the room and I smile, and that's what they deserve. They are sitting, they are in the stage where their life is, health is the biggest issue right now, and if you can't give them like, you can't physically make them healthy, maybe make them emotionally uplifting and positive, like these vibes. So these flowers and this note made me feel like so happy, I can't tell you. It's not first time as a nurse I got as well, but as a medical student, when you do the internship, that made me feel like, wow, I have not loosened the touch with the humanity yet, so that's good. I'm not just a walking robot and examining patient. I am also like actually making an impact on someone's, like the patient was actually feeling better, and made me at the end feel also so positive, and I said, oh yes, I did. I am on the right path. It will come. again, being a nurse, it was easier to find connections. Normally you have to apply for, like, you have to go through all the paperwork. I still had to go through as well, but then you can apply to a hospital. They all have their programs, and you have to always apply like 1 year, 6 months before, because otherwise you can't just shadow a doctor like that. So you look through it, you apply on their website with your old, you give their, and then hopefully, and hope for that you will be accepted. So, and being a German, it's not bad, like you get accepted, it's easier to get into German internships. For German students who are studying in Germany, they have also mandatory internships. And for example, in Germany, 6 years, as in Bulgaria, the whole year is practical year, and they know already from get-go which rotation is where. So they already have to rotate like 2 weeks here, 4 weeks in this ward. And in Bulgaria it's the same. We want to start our internships as well in March, right? So in March we will start like, for example, I don't have my timetable yet, but when it comes out, for example, it starts with internal diseases. So I will go to different departments within internal diseases, and they are mandatory. You should do it, you have to do it. And that's your practical experience at the end. That's how you learn it. And after every practical rotation, you will have your exam. So it is very useful to go to the hospital and study. And people who think like it's not mandatory, I mean, they don't take attendance because you are grown up. It's for you. You are gonna do it for you, and you wanna collect the clinical experience. Otherwise, where you wanna find it? After that, okay, you did your exam, you're done, are you a doctor? No, you have no clinical experience, so you need to gather the clinical experience, because otherwise when you start your job, you're sitting there with theory, and theory is not, of course you need it, but more practical is needed. When you're doing first, second, third year here in Bulgaria, you have like 2 weeks every year, every summer, you have to do practical experience. That's mandatory. You have to get a signature, yeah, you did it. And you can do it here in Bulgaria, which is for people, again, harder because they don't know Bulgaria. That's why people try to do that back home in their countries. So that's why what I did in first, second, and third year, I went home and I collected the experience there. You can do Erasmus, you have to, but there's a paperwork again. You have to apply, and you can say, okay, I want to do this. After, in the clinical year, you can apply for that, and you can ask the dean's office and take the permission, and you can go out and do it. There are Erasmus programs. I recently saw on a website as well, like from Bulgaria. They even help students to go do this maybe 6 months outside of Bulgaria. So for part-time jobs, I have done it personally in second year. I have done it in fourth year, fifth year, and now I'm still doing the part-time job. If you're good at your time management and also want to earn something nearby, because we are students and we are paying here, of course there's so many costs which we have to pay by ourselves, fee, electricity, rent, everything. So what you can do is you can apply for the jobs here for part-time, and the companies, they are really very flexible because they are very student friendly. One which I worked from year 2 is TELUS Center, and they give you 4-hour shifts. So which is you can work 4 hours, and then you can organize your timetable according to that and your classes. So you can submit your preferences, and that's why they will give you shifts according to your needs. And I was saying which year is the best. I would recommend if you can't manage your time accordingly and you have too much stress going on, don't stress yourself out. Just from the 4th year, I would say, from the 4th year you will have good time to do part-time job. 4th year is because you have starting rotations, right? And then in the 4th year you will you have different rotations, and for each rotation you have for example 4 to 5 weeks. So for one subject you have 4 to 5 weeks to study, and that will give you time as well to if you want to do a part-time job. First of all, I love going to conferences, which this was also the very sad part when COVID happened. All the conferences were cancelled. So we couldn't attend. I was going from the first year. I was attending this International Biomedical Conference, International Student Conference in Bulgaria. They are very good and they are affordable. Like in other countries, you have to pay so much. Here, I love going to these conferences. You learn so much. It's not only the lectures you attend, you also attend the seminars and workshops. So you have hands-on activities. And also from second year I visited, and then COVID happened, I couldn't. Now, since last year, the conferences has again started. The best one I would say I attended in person after COVID was one of angioedema conference, was held by angioedema department here in Medical University of Sofia. It was the one of the best experience ever. I learned so much there. It was not only conference, it was not only study part, it was also food. They showed us actually traditional Bulgarian food. They took us to a restaurant. They actually introduced to the culture as well. So it was not only learning experience, but also a social experience, which I really enjoyed. And another conference I would, student who starts here studying, I would recommend them to attend is ICMS, IBCS. They also do every year a conference, one is in May and one is in, I think, late in year, in November or something. So when you go to these conferences, you're not only going for the learning experience, you're also doing something for your CV. So you are earning ECTS points, which are going to help, for me, it's going to help me in Germany. So, and you can also present there if you're doing some research or something. You can. I personally did it. I presented on 2 conferences right now, up to now. Because of COVID, I was also very sad because I couldn't do it anymore. I love doing this extracurricular stuff. Not only you should attend conferences and stuff, you can also be actively participating in an organization. In our university, we have so many organizations. I am working with Medipath International. They also organize workshops, we organize workshops for students. We recently did suturing workshops. There is emergency workshops, emergency symposium, actually, we recently held at Medical University of Sofia, and that was a big success. The students loved it because we had Stop the Bleed workshop, we had suturing workshop, we had ultrasound workshop, OSCE workshops. You can learn so much on these conferences and symposiums, so I would really recommend you to do that. I did over the years, and I would still do it again if I had the chance. I think you should follow pages educational pages, for example, ICMS, IBCS, and AMSP. This is the National Bulgarian Student Association for doctors, medical students. So they post a lot of stuff, and they don't do only big conferences. They also do these small workshops or lectures. Recently, they did they were holding just lectures on radiology, or workshops or ultrasound workshops. So these tiny things extracurricular stuff, which will help you build your CV and your experience. So in 6th year, you start with your regular rotations, which are going until March. So I started in September, right? I started with forensics, I had physiotherapy, now I'm having epidemiology. All the rotations urology, all these rotations which we didn't have in previous years. Now we have 4 or 5 rotations. At the end of each rotation, we have an exam, right? So that's what we're going to do until March. Now I have 2 exams left, epidemiology and anesthesiology, and up to March. And after March, the states exam starts. And states exams are like this. You have 5 to 6 weeks for each exam. Your internship in each department, for example, internal diseases, I will have 5 to 6 weeks, and then I have exam. That's how it's going to be. So practicals, exam up to all the way to November. So this is the 6th year. When you do your last exam, because if it's oral, of course, you will see your results immediately. And if it's written, of course, after the last exam, if it's written, you will see the results after 2 weeks or something. And when you passed all the exam, you're a doctor, you have finished your states exam successfully, and now you are ready to graduate. So you're just waiting for the paperwork and graduation until February. To be honest, it is quite busy year, because you are now on your way out and you want to do everything now, like there's so much stuff to do, like I want to gather as much as clinical knowledge as possible. So I want to do extracurricular activities as well. I want to do like I want to attend conferences. I also have to study for my states exams. So it's a lot going on, and then you're applying as well for the next step in your life, like for your job. So there's so much stuff going on, and you want to, because it's last year, you also want to spend so much time with your friends, because you know everybody's going back home, and who knows like when you're going to see each other. So there are so many fun social activities planned, like extracurricular activities, then your states exam. It's a very busy year for me, I have to say. Personally, it is packed. Scary part of 6th year is, I think, I don't know if it is itself the states exam which scares me, but it's most like, oh wow, what if I don't do it? Like if I can't make it, like because it's end of the studies, and now you're thinking of yourself, this is now tiny bit left, you can do it, right? Of course, I'm thinking, of course I'm gonna do it, but there's still like a little bit doubt, what if this exam doesn't go well? What if something happens, what something comes in a way? That scares me, which I'm trying to work on it, because that's just, nothing is happening, nothing is going on, but it scares me. The states exam itself is like, okay, it's huge, it's coming to an end now, and you're gonna become a doctor. Are you even ready? Like, are you even ready? Like these questions I ask myself. If you can't make an exam, of course there's resits. You can do the resit session, and then you will be maybe not finishing in November, maybe in December. So that is not a big of deal, of course, but still it will like, oh, I was that close, why is it happening? You know, these thoughts come across, and then you think of that. But I try to like, okay, no, you have your knowledge, I will put my effort, and I will do my best, and if it happens, happens, and if not, then I have another chance. The thing is with states exam, they are actually similar to the 50 exams which we had: pediatrics, internal medicine, obs and gynae, epidemiology with hygiene together, and together social medicine, and emergency medicine, right? And also, so these all syllabus we are familiar with, like it's not like we don't know what's coming for us. And from these exams, what I found personally was the hardest was pediatrics. And of course, internal diseases are also lots of syllabus. So what I'm going to do is like, I already started internal medicine. So I have already my notes, because that scared me a lot, because it's so much stuff. I don't have time for making notes anymore. So what I have, I'm going to work with it, and we're going to study by explaining each other. So that's how I'm going to take my fear away, by preparing myself like beforehand. It does scare me, like pediatrics and internal medicine are the biggest exams, and they are hardest as well, I would say, in the states exams. To be honest, 6th year is, personally, I don't find it is that different. Of course, it's very different from 1st year and 2nd year, and yeah, because we have rotations, but in aspect, I would say it's different, because I look at things differently now. It's like 6th year is for me like, okay, you are already on your way out. Now you have to think about your giving up the apartment. You have to get rid of your stuff, which you don't need anymore. You have to declutter your apartment. How are you going to take everything out? You have to organize everything. You have to make like plans when you're going to leave the apartment, when you have to give the notice. Do you know all this bureaucracy stuff? Which documents do you need for transition? When do you have to apply for them? How long will it take? Do I have to come back again to collect the papers, or is there any other way? Like, you know, all the bureaucracy stuff, that's taking my mind right now. I'm more like occupied with that, and other stuff, like apart from studies, I'm saying, right? So, and then you think like, okay, what did I not see in this country? Maybe I should visit now. It's the best chance to do it. Like, let me go and explore the country more, or do a trip maybe here and there. So this will maybe I will not get the chance again to come back, or will not have the time. So because I really loved exploring Bulgaria, it was amazing, like sightseeing, beaches, everything is beautiful. So I will miss it. So that's why I want to take the opportunity and go do stuff. As soon you're a medical student, your family thinks you are already doctor, so they send you their reports. In the first year, and I told them I am learning my anatomy. I don't even know where it's what. So no, but now when they send me their reports, I have lots of like relatives who send me their reports, or they say, hey, this happened, what do you think? Is it okay? Can I take this? Or do you think, is it like something bad before I go to doctor? Because they always think like, and personally I would do the same, because if I know someone is my friend and is a doctor or a family member, I would go to them, because there's also some trust aspect of that, because as a doctors, they don't say everything to the patient, and they know, they just, okay, you're done. You know, they don't have time to go thoroughly with your condition. So that's why, for example, my sister, when she ever has something, whenever she has something, she calls me, is it that bad? I'm gonna die. Like, you can't ask me like that. You know, these things, she does that. Like, and I find it very adorable, and I love to help her as well, always. So I do my research. I'm not a doctor. I can't give a medical advice. I would never do that. So what I do is I do my research, and I will consult with a doctor who is there, and I will discuss. And we have like people in our, like doctors in our life, like who does help me. Then, okay, you can say this, you can do like this maybe. And we discuss, maybe sometime we take this case and discuss in friends, like doing a, like as a learning, you know, material for us. So it's fun sometimes, but as a first year, I was like, okay, what should I say? That's not happening. To coming to Bulgaria and settling down as a, like alone without family, has made me realize, like, I have learned so much. Like, I am ready to go anywhere in the world and settle down. Like, I will not have a difficulty, because I learned how to survive alone, how to do your stuff alone, these all, you know, how to make a life in a foreign country. I came from India to Germany, but it was my family. Everything was there for me. Like, everything was settled down. I didn't have to struggle anything. My family did everything for me. So then, but from Germany to coming to Bulgaria for studies by myself, I had to struggle, yeah. So that made me stronger, and also saying like, okay, you can go in any country and settle down. So the thing is, if I'm gonna be a good doctor, it's a very hard question, I have to say, because I can't tell but I know what I can do to become a good doctor. And I am actually actively working on that, not only gaining knowledge, but also as a person. So as a good doctor doesn't mean you know your stuff and then you just do it, but also show some empathy, how to deal with patients. And even when we do these OSCE sessions, we give each other feedback, right? So up to now, I did got really good feedback from my friends, because we don't just say, oh yeah, you did this good. We also say what you did bad, right? So which aspects I can improve. Right now, I know I have to work on my clinical skills. I am not ready to be a doctor next year. So I am actively looking for workshops. I am actively going to perform physical like examination. I'm gonna go like so as soon the internship part starts, we have already planned our which department we're going. We talk to the doctors already what time we can come. So this will help me to, which I think, become a good doctor. So, and I just don't want to be any like doctor like this. I want to be a good doctor, like really. Having thoughts about I can't do it or I don't know anything is very normal. Like for a medical student, you study something and you like, oh, I understood this, why did I forget it? Like, why I don't know anything, I am not capable, I can't do it. These thoughts are very normal. Like, actually, I'm saying that these are having every day sometimes, or when I'm doing something, I started a new topic, I was like, why are you so like forgetful? Why can't you just remember? Maybe I'm not that smart enough, right? I always think like, why I'm like being so dumb? Like, I actually think these people know everything. How if they did it, you can do it. But no, it's normal to have these thoughts all. And And that's why when we were studying for very hard subjects, I had a support system. Like for my friend, when I say, oh, I feel so dumb, I don't know anything, she's like, don't say that. This is not, don't be negative towards you. You're doing. So she gives me these positive words, positive uplifting, all the time. No, you're good, you're positive. You know, these things, you need someone to say that. She was saying that I'm doing to her. So this helped us going through this negative time. But to saying that I had thought like to drop out sometimes, I have to say, I have to be honest, I had never thought about that option. It does not exist in my career that I will drop out from medical school, because I really, really worked hard to be here in this point where I am. So even if, that's why my mind doesn't dare to go like cross this thought in my mind. It doesn't happen. It can't happen because this option is not there. Dropping out is not for me, because I decided, I struggled from, I did my A-level nursing, then I did social year, I did biotechnology. I came to medical school because I wanted to do this. I wanted to become a doctor, and I will be becoming a doctor. So that was what motivating me, because I can't drop out. I always, every day I can cry, I will crawl, I will sit there and like look at the wall and say, oh, what did I do to myself? But I will not drop out. And this thought will never cross my mind. But of course, if it is hard for someone and it is not for you, because medicine is not for everyone. First of all, you come into, maybe you weren't even familiar with the concept of medicine. And when you come into there and you think, okay, I will give a try. And if you realize in the beginning, or doesn't matter which part of your studies, you realize it's not for you, then you take your you take your chance and go out, like really. But if it was your dream to be a doctor, then I don't think you will think of dropping out, right? Like that's my opinion. My plan after graduation is, because we have 3 months until we get our diploma. So, because November I'm finishing my exams and in February is the graduation. For this span of time, I'm going to do internship back home. So I already have a place, so I am immediately starting. I don't want to take a break, because I know my opinion, if I take a break, it's very hard to get back into. So I will do my internship 3 months, and then during that month, now already I'm applying for jobs already for residency. So let's see where the journey takes me. I am considering lots of places right now, but mostly German speaking. So that's why I am not sure about where, because I am like doing my research still and applying for different jobs. Regarding the specialty, I have to I went through 6 years now, like I had 6 years to decide, and now we had all our rotations as well, like practical. And for me, first I found out what I don't want to do, so I can tick off. Dermatology was the first one, which I don't want to do, and surgery was the second, because I think it's going to take longer for me. I don't want to do it. It's a very interesting field. I wish I had this mindset, but I don't want to do surgery. I came actually into the medical school thinking with mindset, I'm going to go into obs and gynae. I was mindset, I will do my residency in obs and gynae. I had my plan, but after attending the internship in obs and gynae, it changed my mind. I can't handle that, so it is not for me. So obs and gynae was also from my list. What was left was internal medicine, and internal diseases are a huge spectrum. And now I made my mind, I will start in internal diseases, and in internal diseases I have like huge love for rheumatology and endocrinology. So I have to make up my mind now where I go, and also I have to say I loved pulmonology as well. So there's still struggle, but maybe when I start my residency with internal medicine, in internal medicine, then I will see more stuff. And then while I'm doing the internal medicine, I have option to do specialty. So, and then I can choose if it is endocrinology, rheumatology, or pulmonology. The transition from the medical student and after graduation going back to Germany and working there, I think the biggest scary part is clinical. like practical part, because like how we are trained here, I have theoretical knowledge. I will be prepared at the end, I know everything. But the practical part, like doing the practical procedures, that gonna be like, that scares me. That's why I can't stress enough, like everybody, whenever you get the chance to do any practical workshops, do it. Like do it. So that scares me. That's a transition, I think. Also, and also another thing is, of course I'm from Germany, but my whole studies has been in English. And I was dealing and talking English 24/7. So going back home in Germany, I will have a little bit like terminology, medical terminology will be difficult to like, not difficult I would say, but I would have like struggled to say that medical term in German than in English. So I'm very fluent in English now, and in German medical I will think, oh, what was in that again? Oh, okay. Of course I would remember, but it will struggle for me. It will be a struggle for me. I will miss the people. I will really miss the people from here, which I made the connection with them. And also what else I miss is the cost, living costs are so like cheap. The thing is, as a medical student, I actually have to say I lived like a very luxury life in Bulgaria, which I will miss when I go back home, because I could afford these things. Like this wellness spa, which as a medical student you rarely go in Germany. Like these stuff, you don't do it. I will miss my big apartment, which I will not get for the same price in Germany. And that these things, I made my life very comfortable here, and I made connections which are unforgettable. So I will miss these people. I miss going around and just going to Bulgaria Mall and get something. Like these things were very close to me, and I don't know where I'm going to end up. Like I made actually a life here in Sofia, which I am actually scared what is coming for me, because I am going to move to some country or city where I will not know anyone, and it's going to start from A again, scratch. Like really, because like how I started here, I'm thinking again, I have to do it again, and that scares me. And I am deep sad, like, okay, this whole comfortable life is gonna go away, and the people I will see maybe once a year who I'm friends with, you know. So this was my experience for the 6th year, how has it been for me in Bulgaria. And I would say it has been, if I have to do a summary, I would say I have no regrets. Everything what happened for a reason. I learned, I grew, I like not only knowledge, like medicine basis, but I grew as a person. I made amazing friends. So if you are just starting, I would just recommend you to go for it. Just explore the city, explore the people, and also make time, not just make time for your studies, but also on the side, enjoy the life as well. Have space for your hobbies, because if you're just sitting there and studying all the time, it's gonna not make you feel better. And at the end, when you're in 6th year, you're gonna say, oh my God, I missed so much. I could have done so much. Because near the study, like alongside the study, you can also work, make friends, and have your social life. I hope this will be helpful for you, and thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your time in Sofia.